check, mic check. Chris, when you come out, close that door. This is crazy. Okay, let me see. I gotta see what's going on with my Okay, let me see something. I think I got off of it. You don't have to get back on. Camo Studios. I'm gonna get it right, guys. It's like a sequence I need to be in. Here we go. Sorry about the delay. Let me turn all this down. We'll get it right. I want to drop. I need to name my camera so actually I know which one it is. That'd be the best option to do, right? Just bear with me. Just bear with me. I'm trying to really start the streaming stuff and get it right. I'm an old man. I'm trying to figure it out. Close that door for me because it's an echo in here. Yeah, that's better. So I do see I got it on that one. Microphone seems like it's okay, but I just can't get my get off this one. I don't understand why Camo Studio is not. There you go, right there. It just I don't know why it's been slow, guys. Maybe I should have this already going, which I did at first, and it just blanked out. So yeah, I will do that in a minute. Yeah, we might see something. Get the mic up a little bit. Yeah, we'll do that. Then we'll go to
about Maria Maxwell and cover up of it because his name is all over these files and different sources, including Jeffrey Epstein in his own handwriting, have accused Donald Trump of effectively being a about Maria Maxwell and cover up the cover-up of it, because his name is all over these files. And different sources, including Jeffrey Epstein in his own handwriting, have accused Donald Trump of effectively being
audio capture, video capture. So it's supposed to be new transform game. Game display capture.
pedophile or allowing a prostitution ring to run at Mar-a-Lago. We've got subpoenas being issued by the prosecutors in the Department of Justice several years ago. We got a handwritten note by Jeffrey Epstein that somehow was mailed 3 days after he was hanged to Larry Nassar, of all people, the doctor who sexually assaulted and raped members of the Olympic team, Olympic gymnastics team. You've got the one I want to focus on here is the FBI report of Maria Farmer, who, along with her sister, Annie Farmer, were one of the early sexual abuse victims, rape victims of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. We know it's her FBI report because she has outed herself along with her lawyer and identified it. Let's start with Maria Farmer's report. Here it is. We'll post it up on Legal AF Substack for our paid members. The date on this is the subject's name, Jeffrey Epstein. Character of the case, child pornography. Complainant stated, and this is dated September the 3rd of 1996, almost 10 years before any active investigation was opened up against Jeffrey Epstein. Think about the untold thousands of girls who could have been prevented from being his victims, along with Ghislaine Maxwell and others, if the FBI had taken this story seriously when Maria Farmer made a report on September 3rd of 1996. Think 10 years of your life, and what Jeffrey Epstein, we now know what he did during that 10-year period. Here's the report. The complainant form. Complainant stated that she is a professional artist and took pictures of her sisters 12 and 16 for her own personal artwork. Epstein stole the photos and negatives and is believed to have sold the pictures to potential buyers. So she claims that she took pictures of her 12 and 16-year-old sisters. Epstein got his hands on the photos and then trafficked them. Epstein at one time requested to take pictures of young girls at swimming pools. Epstein is now threatening threatening, we now know it's Maria Farmer, that if she tells anyone about the photos, he will burn her house down. Now, if and this was FBI in Miami had taken that in on 2nd Avenue in North Miami Beach, it was sent to New York City as well. And this has now been released in the Epstein files. Imagine how many lives could have been saved had the FBI done its job in 1996. Now, let's move forward to a 2020 complaint that came in. And here's what it says there. This was received by the FBI. The date received is October the 9th of 2020. Somebody called in and said that this person had met Lisa Villanueva at a hospital where they were both roommates in 2000. And she believes that Villanueva now goes by Ghislaine Lisa Villanueva and sells real estate in Irving, California. They said that in 2000, she was invited to a party on Palm Beach Island, Florida, believes the house to belong to Epstein. Before Villanueva took to meet her, that there was some sort of model scout, that the property they took them to, they entered the property through the backyard, and they met with a hostess, which she believes to be Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell allegedly asked her if she was cool with having sex and cocaine at the party. Villanueva told the complainant it wasn't that kind of party. It was for prostitutes. And this is all apparently at Mar-a-Lago. It gets worse for Donald Trump. There is a handwritten letter from Jeffrey Epstein that purports to be from Jeffrey Epstein that is claimed to have been mailed on the 13th of August, 2019. Jeffrey Epstein hanged himself on August the 10th of 2019. And this was some reason he's writing to Larry Nassar, the pedophile sex abuser, former physician for the women's gymnastics team. And here's what the person purporting to be Epstein wrote. As you know by now, I have taken the short route home. So this letter looks like it's accurate. Nobody's denied its authenticity. He wrote this with a bunch of other envelopes, hanged himself, and then had it mailed. So those are into the conspiracy theory that somebody killed Jeffrey Epstein. He's saying, I take the short route home. Suggests he's writing this letter knowing he's about to hang himself. Good luck. We shared one thing, our love and caring for young ladies and the hope they'd reach their full potential. Look at the delusions of Jeffrey Epstein, even days before he hanged himself, if this is Jeffrey Epstein, talking to Larry Nassar about helping women that they have sexually raped and abused, helping them reach their full potential. But then he goes on, for no good reason. He's about to hang himself. Our president, this is when Trump is president, also shares our love of young, nubile girls. When a young beauty walked by, he loved to grab, snatch, where we ended up snatching grab in the mess hall and of the system, whatever all that means. Life is unfair. Yours, Jay Epstein. If this is authentic, this is Jeffrey Epstein basically pointing the finger at Donald Trump and his love for young, nubile girls that he grabs by the genitalia. We know that Donald Trump has a habit of doing that. We have the Access Hollywood tape in which he said that he likes to grab women by their P word. Then we have a new piece of a new document here we never knew about before, which is from the department, an assistant U.S. attorney in the Southern District of New York, January of 2020, January 8th, just a couple of days after the Jan 6th insurrection. And he says, for your situational awareness, we don't know who he's writing to, we wanted to let you know that the flight records we received yesterday reflect that Donald Trump traveled on Epstein's private jet many more times than previously has been reported, or that we were aware, including during the period we would expect to charge in a Maxwell case. So these are people that are working on the Maxwell case under Maureen Comey, James Comey's daughter, who's the U.S. attorney, assistant U.S. attorney. In particular, he's listed as a passenger on at least 8 flights between 93 and 96, including at least 4 flights in which Maxwell was present. This is obviously Maxwell preparation material. He's listed as having traveled with, among others, Marla Maples, his daughter Tiffany, and his son Eric. We actually have some photos of that. On one flight, he and Epstein are the only listed passengers. On the other, it's Epstein, Trump, and a then 20-year-old Phil Blank. On 2 occasions, the passengers, respectively, were women who would be possible witnesses in the Maxwell case. We just finished reviewing the full records. Didn't want any of this to be a surprise down the road. Trial attorney working on the Maxwell case, obviously. And then around the same time, or a year later, October 5th of 2021, another assistant U.S. attorney, or the same one, there's a subpoena that was issued to Mar-a-Lago. It says, we command that you appear at Foley Square, 40 Foley Square, where the U.S. Department of Justice operates in New York, on November 29th at 9 a.m. in the case of United States versus Ghislaine Maxwell, and not to depart the court without leave thereof. So this was actually reporting to a courtroom 906, and bring with you any and all employment records relating to blank. We don't know who the blank was, but we know that Mar-a-Lago was the subject of this subpoena. This is just the beginnings, folks. This is the reason that Donald Trump did not like and did not want to be transparent to the American people. This is what the Department of Justice had to say once it realized that there were bad items being released against Donald Trump. So they issued this on social media. The Department of Justice has officially released nearly 30,000 more pages of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein. Some of these documents can
But without it, political parties of any and all stripes have learned again and again, perhaps some more recently than others, that without genuine grassroots enthusiasm, authentic excitement among the vast majority of your voters electorally, you are toast. So you can understand why Democrats are starting to feel like they've got their mojo back today, the wind back in their sails, thanks to a rather unexpected issue. What NBC News calls the, quote, burning hot center of Democratic politics right now, the battle over redistricting. It started in the state of Texas, where today Texas Governor Greg Abbott